I'm sorry, Martha. I'm going to be staying at my parents' house tonight.
Wait, what? You're going there today? Dylan, you promised me that we would go out and eat together tonight.
Yeah, I know. I was looking forward to it too. It's just that my mom asked me to stay there tonight. My dad's on a business trip, so she's at home by herself.
It's just that you went there not too long ago. You broke your promise to me that we would spend time together then, too.
I can't do much about it though, can I? My dad's been going away for work quite a lot recently. My mom's been feeling really lonely without him there.
Even so, don't you think you've been going there a bit too often? What about me? Your mother isn't the only one who feels lonely.
I think it's a bit of an exaggeration for you to say that you feel lonely. I'm sure you'll be fine without me.
I just don't like being blown off like this. What am I supposed to do now that our plans are ruined?
Well, you have a ton of friends, right? Plus you have hobbies that can keep you busy while I'm gone. Besides, I'll only be away for one day. Surely you can survive without me until I get back.
You're going to be away longer than one day though, aren't you? It doesn't matter if I have hundreds of friends or some other thing to keep me occupied. That's not the point. If that's enough, then what about your mother? I'm sure that she has loads of friends that can keep her company. Or is it only when I'm alone that friends are sufficient company?
I wouldn't say that she has that many friends though. And I don't think any of them want to go to her house late at night. That's why I need to go to her. It's lonely for her being by herself.
Funny, I could say the exact same thing.
That might be true, but don't you feel bad for my mother? Unlike you, she's not a young woman anymore.
That's besides the point. You promised me that you would be there for me. Why are you always putting your mother's needs ahead of mine? Am I not important to you?
Sigh, fine then. In that case, why don't you come with me? You have a day off from work tomorrow, right?
Huh? Yeah, I do, but...
If you're so upset at being all by yourself, then you should come with me. It makes the most sense. This way, no one gets left out. Sounds fair enough to me.
Thanks for the offer, but I think I'll stay home.
How come? I thought you wanted to be with me. Isn't that what you wanted? If you come to my parents' house, my mother won't be lonely, and we can spend some time together too. It solves both problems at once. It's a win-win.
I told you, I'm fine. I'm sure I'd just be a third wheel there anyway.
Third wheel? What are you talking about? You're acting so down. Seriously, you should come along. It'll be more fun if you're there with us, the more the merrier.
Look, Dylan, I have to ask. You do know that she doesn't like me, right? I don't want to go and ruin everyone's time there.
I already told you before. It's just your imagination. She really does like you. I've explained it a bunch of times already, but my mother is rather shy. It takes her a while to open up around people she doesn't know well. She may not show it all that much, but she's really quite fond of you.
Sigh, if you say so.
As I was saying, my mother will be happy to see you, and you won't have to spend the night alone. So let's go. It's been ages since you last saw her.
I'm fine, okay? I've already decided to stay home. I'll just take a look at any pictures you end up taking there once you're home. Enjoy yourself there and don't worry about me.
You're sure that you don't want to come? Oh well, sit yourself. In that case, I'll just go by myself. I'll get back in 2 days, so take care of the house while I'm gone. Love you.
Excuse me? I thought you were only going to stay there tonight. What changed?
Yeah, the thing is, it looks like my dad will be away for 2 nights now. What's the harm in one more day?
Sigh, I see. I get it. Do whatever you like.
Thanks, babe. So it's settled. I'll spend the next 2 nights at my parents' house. Just so everything is clear. Don't get up to too much mischief while I'm gone. Hey, I'm on my way home now. Though, actually, how do I put this? I've got something to tell you.
What is it now? Can't it wait until after you get home?
No, it really can't. There's been a bit of a change of plans.
A change of plans? What exactly are you trying to tell me?
I actually have something to ask you. Do you mind if my mother stays for a while at our place?
I'm sorry? She has her own place, doesn't she? There's no need for her to live with us.
The thing is, it looks like my father's next business trip will be a rather long-term one. It seems like he'll be able to come home for the holidays, but even so, it won't be very often.
Okay, so? What's your point? I don't see what that has to do with your mother needing to move in with us.
Isn't it obvious? My mother will be all alone, possibly for weeks at a time if she doesn't stay at our house. If something would happen to her during that time, it would be pretty bad, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess so. And your point is?
Well, I have a job for one thing. There's no way that I'm going to commute to work every day from my parents' house. So I thought that the best thing would be for her to stay with us.
Besides, we have a spare room for her to use, so she won't get in the way at all. It'll be fun. Dylan, listen to me. We both know that my issue with her staying here has nothing to do with finding enough space for her.
Oh, really? Then tell me, what exactly is your problem?
Well, let me just ask you this. When the idea of her moving into our place came up, what did she say to you?
Huh? My mother? Well, at first she turned down the offer, but she eventually changed her mind. She told me that she would be happier living with us than living by herself. Besides, it's not going to be for forever.
When you say that she turned down the offer, you're saying that you were the one who suggested it, right?
Well, yeah, I suppose so. But what does it matter? It's my house in the first place. It isn't yours. You only live here thanks to me. When I tell you that my mother is going to live with us, you should do as you're told, and listen to your husband. Wives are not supposed to complain.
Seriously? You must be joking. This is 2022, not 1922.
I'm the one who's supporting us financially. If I ask you if it's okay to do something, you should be a good wife and just say yes. There better be no more complaints from you. I'm going to bring my mother to live with us. Do your best to get along with her, okay? We all need to do our part to keep our family happy.
Hey, wait a second. What about me? Don't just decide these things all by yourself. This is going to affect me too. Don't ignore me. Dylan. Answer me.
2 weeks later.
I thought that your father was coming home for the weekend? Your mother has been staying with us this whole time.
I dunno. So don't bother asking me. I'm sure he's really busy with work.
I'm starting to go crazy living with your mother every day.
What are you talking about? I think you're overreacting. She's doing housework for us, helping us out where she can. You've got to admit she's made things easier for you.
Easier for me? Not at all. It's the complete opposite. Even if she wasn't doing any housework, she'd still be complaining about me every day. I'm doing my fair share of housework too, you know? Even though I'm not perfect, I'm trying my best.
Oh, come on. It's your responsibility to do the housework. Even if you can't do it well, it's your job to do it anyway. She's doing you a big favor by doing all those chores for you. Why are you so negative towards her when she's helping you like that? I think you might be shirking your duties as my wife. It shouldn't be your job to do them for you. My duties as your wife? What are you talking about?
For example,
Cooking and preparing meals, having them ready for me to eat as soon as I get home from work. Washing and ironing my work shirts. These are basic things you should be doing for me as my wife. What I say goes in this house.
so what? Are you saying that she's better than me because she's doing all those things?
Yeah, exactly. She'd make a perfect wife if she wasn't my mother. Not that you'd ever be able to measure up to her, though. You clearly don't have any common sense when it comes to being a wife. I can't believe this. That's so unfair of you to say. I've been trying as hard as I can to live up to your expectations.
Just trying, huh? That's not good enough.
You haven't been putting enough effort into your duties as my wife. I think you've gotten lazy now that my mother has moved in with us. I think it would be a good idea if my mother taught you how to do your chores properly. You clearly aren't very good at them.
Do you even understand how rude you are? Talking to me like that? I guess you've both been saying what a terrible wife I am behind my back, haven't you?
Did my mother say that too? Well, you can't really blame her, can you? I had a feeling she was saying the same thing as me after all. She's been doing your job for you.
Excuse me?
My mother and I tend to think alike. So it's not surprising that she feels the same way as I do. Oh, by the way, I'm going to ask her to stay even longer next time. She can teach you how to be a proper wife. It's for your own good.
I don't need her to teach me anything. I can do the housework perfectly fine without her. In fact, I can do them best without her.
Oh, please, you're hopeless. I know that you aren't at all close with my mother, but that's only because you haven't done anything to build a better relationship. My mother has been trying to compromise, but she can't make anything work if you aren't willing to meet her halfway. Take the opportunity to get along with her. It's the least you could do.
So what you're saying is that it doesn't matter at all how I'm feeling right now? You're just going to keep ignoring me, aren't you?
That's what it means to be a wife. It's about time that you realize that. This isn't your house. It's mine. You live under my roof. You're making things difficult by not behaving like you're supposed to.
Humph. Only making things difficult for you though, right?
Yeah. Obviously. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm the one who's in charge here. You're getting out of line. I'm the one with the high-paying job. I'm the one who is supporting us financially, not you. It's my house, my rules. So you have to do as I say, no matter what. Got it? Hey, Martha. Are you even there? Don't you dare ignore me.
1 week later.
How long are you going to sulk for? I'm getting fed up with you ghosting me. If that's the way you want to play it, I have an idea.
Oh yeah? You have an idea? Do tell.
Perhaps my mother should stay in this house forever.
You can't be serious? She's been there long enough? I'm not coming home as long as she's still there.
Let's be honest. You don't want to come back home, do you? If that's the case, you can't really complain if I stop counting you as a resident of this house, can you?
Funny. I have to ask you something, though. Do you even know the reason why I'm not coming back home?
I'm sure you're just jealous of my mother and I. Just admit it already. Though I guess I was a tiny bit harsh on you. Oh well, you deserved it. And now you've run away from home, feeling sorry for yourself. Ha, you're pathetic.
Well, none of what you said was correct.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please, enlighten me as to why you ran away. Seriously. If you don't cut it out right now, I'm going to get pissed off.
So? Like I care if you get angry or not.
I'll divorce you if you keep this up. You better watch it.
Really? You want to get a divorce?
If you're going to continue behaving like this, I can't help but think that divorce might be unavoidable.
Huh. I see.
My mother agrees with me that it might be for the best to divorce you. Neglecting your husband and moving out of his house? What a terrible partner you turned out to be. Everyone will end up calling you a failure as a wife. Ha! Luckily for you, I'm a very wise and generous man. If you decide to come back to the house right now, I'll let you move back in. I'll even give you some time to do so. You should be thanking me.
What are you on about? I'm not interested in going back to you. You really only care about yourself, don't you? Don't act like you're better than me when you're this self-centered.
Self-centered? Wow. That's rich of you to say that about me. I was kind enough to think of you and how you're struggling with your duties as my wife. That's why I told my mother about you. I'm trying to help you become a proper wife. So show some gratitude. Seriously, you're so ungrateful.
Don't try to make it sound like you did this all for me. I'm sick of you.
Give me a break. Don't you think your selfish tantrum has gone on long enough? I've been patient with you, but my patience is wearing thin. Cut it out already, and do what's expected of you.
How am I being selfish? That's you.
Well, if it's not being selfish, then what do you call it? You've gotten too cocky for your own good. My mother and I were too soft on you. I've had enough. Don't show your face at my house ever again. Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
1 week later.
What on earth have you been doing? It's about time you came back home. You'd better not be staying at some other guy's place.
I'm not the type of woman who does that.
Humph, as predictable as ever. However, if you apologize to me right now, it's not something that I can't forgive.
You'll forgive me? For what, exactly?
For insulting me and Mother. Do I really have to say it? Either you're too stupid to realize it, or you're just pretending not to remember.
What is all this nonsense? You don't even know why I left in the first place, and you're rambling on about things that aren't even true. Besides, you two kicked me out anyway. Don't you remember? So why do you even want me to come back now? You can't even make up your own mind. I have nothing to apologize to you for. You really have some nerve, you know that?
We never told you to leave. Don't make things up to suit your side of the story. You left all on your own. That was your decision, we didn't make it for you. So don't try and blame us. We did nothing wrong.
You're the one who told me not to come back. And you and your mother are the ones who made it unbearable to live in that house any longer. That's why I'm blaming you too, though I'm sure you won't accept that it's not my fault.
You're just jealous that my mother and I get along so well. You never could pull your own weight when you were living here, and you started to blame us for all of your failings. My mother and I simply tried to live our lives. However, you were so useless that you made things more difficult for us.
You're just trying to live your lives, huh?
Whatever. If you're that against the idea of moving back here, then we don't need you anyway. Things have been much more peaceful without you around. Don't ever bother us again. We're both so fed up with your selfishness and stupidity. I can't put into words how relieved I am that we're finally going to be free of you.
Yeah, I'm sure. I wouldn't want to get in the way of your lovey-dovey life.
Lovey-dovey? What are you on about? It's so obvious that you're filled with jealousy over our happy lives.
I think I'm going to throw up. You two are disgusting. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you something. Since you drove me out of that house, I can't solve the rental agreement. I guess it just slipped my mind. Oops.
Wait, what? You're joking, right?
Looks like that got your attention. You've been saying that it's your house a lot lately, and that I was just someone who was lucky enough to live there. But the truth is, that's actually my house. I signed the rental agreement and started living there by myself when I was still single. Not that you remember, of course. Do you understand? It's not your house, and it never was.
What the hell? I mean, so what?
Like I said, I canceled the rental agreement. Do you even get what I'm trying to tell you? I didn't rent it for you and your mother. Especially not so that you could continue your disgusting romance together after I left.
Are you serious? Damn you, Martha. Now just wait a second. When did you cancel the rental agreement? Ah. I can't believe this. So typical of you to screw us over like this.
It's my house. It's my choice if and when I cancel the rental agreement. It's not you or your mother's house, so you can't really complain, can you? It doesn't have anything to do with you. That being said, I'm never going back there, and I'm divorcing you.
Don't mess with me. You think this is funny? My mother and I are still living here.
Okay. So, what exactly is your point?
Don't give me that. What are we supposed to do now? You've really done it this time.
All I hear is, don't take me and my mother's Loveless away from us. You two really are the worst. It's sickening. I don't even want to know what you two get up to.
What are you talking about? It's nothing like that. I never said that I was in love with her like that. You're the one letting your imagination run away.
That's the only way anyone could interpret your words and actions. Please, no more. You're too disgusting. I never want to see either of you ever again.
I'm done with you yet.
Yeah. Well, I'm done with you. You. And I'm dead serious. I've had enough of you for 100 lifetimes.
I'm not asking. You'd better come back here right this minute. I'm warning you. Do you even understand the position you're in?
Of course I do. I'm well aware that I'm in a position of power, and you two are panicking. I've got to admit, it feels pretty good. I'm have the contract for that house, and I'll soon be your ex-wife too.
This is ridiculous. You can't be serious. Are you really going to divorce me? You're making a huge mistake.
What are you saying? It's not like I have any other choice. After everything that has happened, divorcing you is the only sensible option left to me.
You'd better stop acting so childish and do what I say. I'm serious.
I already told you, I'm serious too. Your perfect mother agrees with me that divorcing you is for the best, right? Besides, I wouldn't want to get in the way of anything between you two. Seems to me that a divorce would solve all of our problems. Everyone wins. You can get your mother to take care of everything for you. Cook your meals, iron your shirts, change your diaper, etc. Your mother is so much better at doing those things than me. I could never measure up to her after all.
How dare you? You think you can just say whatever you want and get away with it?
What are you getting so worked up for? You're the one who started this argument, remember?
I didn't start anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
No matter what, it's always, my mother, my mother, my mother. I've seen you message me that so often that my brain is going numb.
Excuse me.
Could you stop saying excuse me? It's really getting on my nerves.
Excuse me.
You can't understand my messages that I sent you over 2 minutes ago? You really are an idiot. A chicken would be able to comprehend things quicker than you.
Cut it out. I'm sick of you talking down to me like that. Get back here right now. This is your last warning.
My last warning? Ha! What are you going to do if I don't come back? It isn't even your house anymore. Ha! This is comedy gold.
You're still fun of me, huh?
Ding ding ding. That's correct. I am indeed making fun of you.
Don't mess with me.
Wow, you're so annoying. You just keep repeating yourself. And I'm not messing with you. Now pack up your things and move out. If you don't get a move on, they'll end up evicting you.
You've got to be kidding me.
Make sure to move out in less than 1 month, okay? You're a nuisance to everyone else there. Oh yeah, and try not to wreck the place before you do, okay? It'll just be a waste of money. Well, even if you do, I can pay for it.
This is ridiculous. You seriously want to divorce me?
Yeah. I'm not strong enough mentally to stay with a mama's boy like you. I'd probably kill myself if I had to spend the rest of my life with you too.
I'm not a mama's boy. No, you definitely are. You're the very definition of a mama's boy. You're always getting your mother to do everything for you. You can't really call yourself an adult, can you?
You might as well sleep in the same bed with her like when you were little. If you're not a mama's boy, then I don't know who is. You clearly prefer being with your mother than any woman your age. After all, you kicked me out and you didn't even try to contact me.
It's not like that. I'm just worried about her, okay? That's all there is to it.
Ha, I'm sure she'll be fine without you there for her 24/7. An old hag like your mother who likes to pick on her son's wife won't be in trouble the minute you're gone. She might seem like a sweet, frail old lady to you, but I have to admit, she can take care of herself. She isn't going to drop dead anytime soon, unfortunately.
Hey, don't you insult my mother like that. You'll regret it.
Even though when your mother spoke bad of me, you didn't say anything? I guess it's only when it's your mother that you get this defensive.
What are you talking about?
Don't give me weak excuses like, she's just shy of people she doesn't know well. I know that she simply hates me. There's no misunderstanding between us whatsoever. I'm sure that to your eyes, she doesn't have any ill will towards me. That's because you think she's so perfect that I must be purposefully making her look bad. No matter how much I asked for your help, you'd always blame me and side with your mother. I don't know what inspired you to act like this, but it started as soon as your mother came to live with us. It's pathetic how you've tried to be the bossy husband, desperately vying for her approval. What are you, 5 years old?
Oh, give me a break. Is that really how you see it?
And by the way, Mr. I support us financially. Here's an idea for you. Since you're so wealthy, why don't you buy a new house for your mother to live in? After all, if you love her so much, you might as well give her the best house that you can afford. Then once she's settled in, she can call you over to visit her. My point is, if you're going to brag about being the one who provides the most income, you should do it once you become a proper adult and actually have the means to pay for it all by yourself.
Yeah, well, the thing is...
I thought so. Please both get along and go back to your father's house.
Hey, Martha, just wait a second, please. I know you're just joking about getting a divorce. You aren't seriously going to leave me, right?
Are you sure that you aren't joking? How could you possibly think that any sane person would stay married to you after all that's happened?
Well, what are you going to do after you divorce me, huh? It must be embarrassing for you to go through that. Everyone will be so ashamed of you.
How exactly would that be embarrassing for me? Oh, I get it. It'll be embarrassing for you, isn't that right? I bet your mother must have said something to you. She probably told you that you mustn't let me go, right?
You don't know what you're talking about. My mother didn't say anything to me. I decided things for myself.
Wow, I've got to admit, I'm surprised. I didn't know that you had any opinions of your own.
Don't be stupid. Of course I do.
I'm sorry to disappoint, but I won't feel any shame at all from divorcing you. These days, around half of all marriages end in divorce. I'll just be another one of the millions of people who escaped from a terrible marriage. Besides, being a slave to a mommy's boy like you was definitely more embarrassing than getting divorced could ever be.
A slave? Oh, come on. Talk about bending the truth.
But that's exactly what I was. You told me not to talk back to you, for one thing. Or have you forgotten? Not to mention that you forced me to respond to your orders with a simple yes. It was hell. You even ordered me to learn how to properly do housework from your mother. Is she a god to you? You seem to worship the very ground she walks on, so I can't help but come to that conclusion.
Hey now, just calm down, all right?
Compared to a life of being tied down by you two, being a divorcee is the best deal I've ever heard of. And the fact that I know you don't want to be divorced makes it even sweeter.
Is that really how much you hate me?
Yeah. I hate you with every fiber of my being. I just can't make up my mind who I hate more, you, or your vile mother. Though I can't forget about your father. Even though he knew your mother was living with us, he didn't say anything this entire time. I hate him too. Although I wouldn't be surprised if he just wanted to get away from your mother for a while, Thinking about finally being free from you all. It makes me so happy that I could just start dancing.
Hey, come on. I'm sick of my mother telling me what to do. I see now that you are always the one for me. I promise to treat you right from now on. I'm sorry for neglecting you for so long. So please, don't get a divorce. What's more, my mother has started telling me that I need to be a proper husband, and that I've gotten carried away lately.
That's fine with me. You can enjoy getting carried away for the rest of your life. Without me. Nothing can change my mind now. I'm getting a divorce no matter what. I hope you can find another beautiful slave to marry who doesn't mind at all that you're a mama's boy. Not that there's much luck in finding a woman like that. Ciao.
Martha. Just wait a minute. Give me a second chance. Are you even there? Martha. Don't ignore me. I'm begging you.
After divorcing Dylan, I openly shared the reasons with my friends, which led to them spreading a rumor that he was overly attached to his mother. Consequently, Dylan and his mother moved back to their old home. Now, his mother is actively searching for a new bride for him, but Dylan appears uninterested in remarriage, much to my amusement. I've started living independently once more, in a smaller space, but I've grown to cherish having my own place after the time spent with Dylan and his mother. It feels liberating, allowing me to breathe freely. I have no plans to date or marry again for now. Instead, I'm focusing on my career and self-improvement. While challenges may arise, I finally feel like I'm making the most of my life after a long time.